Once upon a time there was a young unicorn named Starlight who lived in a beautiful forest surrounded by tall trees and colorful flowers. Every day Starlight would frolic and play with her unicorn friends Meadow and Sunbeam. The three unicorns loved exploring the forest, splashing in the nearby stream, and gazing up at the clouds as they drifted by. One sunny morning, Starlight, Meadow, and Sunbeam were playing near the edge of the forest when they heard a loud rumbling noise. They turned to see dark storm clouds gathering overhead. Suddenly there was a bright flash and a loud crack of thunder. The unicorns jumped in surprise as rain began pouring down around them. "Let's get under the trees for shelter," cried Starlight. The three unicorns galloped deeper into the forest to take cover from the downpour. Huddling beneath a large oak tree, they peered up through the branches at the stormy sky. "I've never seen a storm come on so quickly before," said Meadow, her voice trembling. "It's a little scary." Sunbeam nuzzled her friend comforting. "Don't worry, we're safe here together." Lightning flashed brightly, followed by an enormous boom of thunder that shook the whole forest. The unicorns shrieked and covered their ears. When the thunder finally died down, they heard a new sound. It was a cry for help. "Did you hear that?" Starlight asked, her eyes wide. The cry came again, louder this time. It was clearly someone calling for help. The three unicorns looked at each other nervously. "What should we do?" asked Sunbeam. They heard the voice calling again, desperately pleading for help. Starlight stood up tall. "We have to try and find them," she declared. "Someone out there needs our help. I'm going to go look for them." Meadow and Sunbeam were frightened, but they knew their friend was right. They couldn't leave someone alone and afraid in the storm. "We'll come with you," Meadow said bravely. The three young unicorns left the shelter of the oak tree and ventured out into the stormy forest. The wind whipped their manes as they called out, searching for the source of the cries. "Where are you? How can we help?" Starlight shouted over a crash of thunder. Then, over by a fallen log, they spotted movement. A tiny winged unicorn, even smaller than them, was huddled beneath the log, shivering. One of her wings was bent at an odd angle. When she saw the three unicorns, she cried out, "Oh, please help me. My wing is hurt and I can't fly or find shelter." Starlight, Meadow, and Sunbeam quickly consulted with each other. "Of course we'll help you," Starlight replied. "What's your name?" "I'm Firefly," the tiny unicorn answered. Meadow and Sunbeam gently lifted Firefly and carried her under their oak tree, while Starlight tried to shield them from the wind and rain. Once they were beneath the branches, the unicorns saw that one of Firefly's wings was broken. "How did this happen?" Meadow asked. Firefly whimpered. "I was blown into a tree by the strong winds. I've been lost and alone ever since." Sunbeam nuzzled Firefly softly. "Don't worry, we'll take care of you." The storm raged on. Thunder boomed and lightning lit up the now dark forest. But the four unicorns were cozy and safe under their sturdy oak tree, snuggled together for warmth. Meadow told Firefly stories to distract her from the scary storm. Starlight and Sunbeam took turns grooming Firefly's damaged wing with their horns, trying to smooth the bent feathers. Firefly was soon giggling at Meadow's funny voices and seemed much calmer. "How do you fly with these fluffy wings?" Starlight asked curiously, having never met a winged unicorn before. Firefly flapped her good wing. "They work just like bird wings. I flap them very fast to lift off the ground." The others were amazed. Winged unicorns were incredibly rare and magical. After hours of waiting, the storm finally passed. The last rumbles of thunder echoed away into the distance. Sunlight started streaming through the oak leaves, creating dappled patterns on the forest floor. Firefly wiggled out from the shelter of feathers and stood up on wobbly legs. "Thank you all for rescuing me and caring for me. You're the best friends I could ask for." Starlight smiled. "That's what friends do. Now let's get you home." The 4 unicorns set off into the dripping, sparkling forest. Firefly gave directions to get back to her herd. After passing through flower meadows and berry patches, they arrived at a small clearing surrounded by glittery pixie dust trees. Dozens of winged unicorns flitted around, playing and chatting. When they saw Firefly, they whinnied with joy and rushed over to greet her. "You're safe," cried an elder winged unicorn named Stardust, who was clearly Firefly's mother. Firefly hugged her tight with her good wing. "Thanks to my new friends who rescued and cared for me." Firefly introduced Meadow, Sunbeam, and Starlight to her herd. The other winged unicorns were thrilled to meet the magical creatures who had saved one of their own. They invited the 3 friends to stay for moonberry cakes and silverdew tea. As the unicorns feasted and chatted, Firefly recounted her scary adventure lost in the storm. The winged unicorns were amazed at the bravery Starlight, Meadow and Sunbeam had shown venturing into danger to find their missing friend. After the meal, the unicorns gathered around a crystal pool fed by a small waterfall. An elder winged unicorn named Moondust gently washed Firefly's injured wing in the soothing water. She then applied a healing silver pollen poultice and wrapped it in soft cobwebs. Firefly just needs to rest her wing for a few weeks and it will be good as new, Moondust declared. Firefly happily flapped her bandaged wing, already feeling less sore. Starlight, Meadow, and Sunbeam smiled, knowing their new friend would soon be soaring freely again. That night, the winged unicorns held a feast in honor of Starlight, Meadow, and Sunbeam's bravery. Flying unicorns danced gracefully through the moonlit sky, leaving glimmering trails of pixie dust in their wake. Fireflies flickered like tiny stars in the meadow. It was truly magical. After the feast, the 3 unicorns said goodbye to their new winged friends. Firefly snuggled each one of them. "I'll never forget how you saved me. Thank you, always." The friends promised to visit again soon. Then the trio headed back through the forest towards home, their horns and hearts filled with starlight. The end.